Hey, true believers, it's Englentine here with another weekly countdown. This is of the comic books sold to customers, not just sold to the stores. And it looks like Marvel has a hit on their hands. This list, of course, comes from Bleeding Cool, so make sure that you're taking it with whatever grain of salt you feel that needs to be taken with. And, of course, also cover the top 20 digital comic sales from Comixology to give us an idea of what is and what isn't being sold digitally. And just as an added little bonus, I started adding the top 10 independent comic books for those who enjoy the smaller press. Well, anyway, this is the way we make our living, so if you like videos like this, please head on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till, links in the description below. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and let's get this party started. But before we do the countdown, let's give a shout out to all of the comic shops that participated and gave us quotes and such and told us what they thought about the week. If you would like to give a shout out to your local comic book shop, send in the name. The weirder the name, the cooler the name, the better. Number 10 is Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 298. Number 9 is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, number 2. Number 8 was X-Men Grand Design number 1. Number 7 was Super Sons number 11. Number 6 is The Mighty Thor number 702. Number 5 belongs to Justice League number 35. Number 4 goes to Superman number 37. For the first time in a long time, Marvel cracks the top 3 with Marvel 2-in-1 number 1. And the runner-up at number 2 is Batman number 37. And finally at the top spot, the number 1 comic book of the week with probably very little surprise is Dark Knight's Metal number 4. Now, I'm hoping it gets better with number 5, but hey, at least we're buying it, right? And that was the top 10 hard copies, or floppies, as we're calling them these days, sold to customers. You remember when floppies referred to discs? Anywho, I'm old. Let's hear what the comic shop owners had to say. With Christmas almost here, some of our regulars are out of town. Well, new customers are visiting, making for an odd week. Dark Knight 4 easily took the top spot. What do I want for Christmas? Marvel to start selling again. They are still free falling down the sales chart. Star Wars the movie had no bump on the titles. Part of it, I just think there's a lack of audience awareness. If they put advertisements for the comics in front of the movies, maybe that'll help. But as it is, outside of the comic books themselves or the comic shops, there's no advertisement for comic book stories. It used to be that the comics would get a bump. And if you go to eBay, back issues get a bump. You put out a Captain Marvel movie, Ms. Marvel number 1 in her first appearance is going to go up in value. Wow. If Marvel can continue what they laid down this week, we might just see a stronger, healthier Marvel for 2018. X-Men Grand Design number 1 might have charted even higher. It hit number 3, but we were cleaned out by Thursday night. And I'm sure we ordered more than anywhere else near us. And Marvel 2-in-1 was a perfect reintroduction to the dearly missed Fantastic Four. DC still took the top 2, but in a surprise twist, Batman outsold Metal. Does this mean the delay hurt or that fatigue is setting in? I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. Metal can't be stopped. I've already had to put in a monster reorder for it, so that means sales are up from last issue. Tom King Batman is still on fire. And Marvel 2-in-1 answers the question of whether or not people are ready for another Fantastic Four title, a resounding yes. Tales of Suspense was an easy sell because A, it was actually great, no it wasn't, and B, it channeled the spirit of 2 popular characters in their respective runs of Fraction and Brubaker. I did a video about Tales of Suspense, you can check that out, see if you like it or not. I was not impressed. And we're back to our regular scheduled, even though it was delayed by a week, Dark Knight's Metal domination. Metal Solid almost doubled the amount of copies of Batman, our second bestseller of the week. We had 2 Marvel books in our FFF Top 10 this week, with Marvel 2-in-1 at number 6 and Doctor Strange at number 8. The 2-in-1 is a bit of a surprise to see. Who knew that people actually cared about what essentially qualifies as the Fantastic Four book? It doesn't. Donny Cates' Doctor Strange seems to have found its audience. The double Super Sons of Tomorrow opening issues didn't seem to draw any new readers to Superman or Super Sons, which are already healthy sellers. Keeping with a holiday spirit, the Curse Words Holiday Special was the only indie book in our top 20, placing at number 17. That is a lot of love spread around to a lot of different comic books. Sad to see that there's no bump for Super Sons. I know it's already a seller, but I think it deserves to be bigger. It was a split week in our stores, with 50% of the top 10s being DC and 50% being Marvel. DC ranked the 1 and 2 spot, of course, as Batmania continues. Though Marvel locked in 3 and 4, Marvel 2 and 1 performed well, with people missing the Fantastic Four, plus the always fantastic Jim Cheung artwork. You know, it's interesting. I am a big fan of Fantastic Four, but I gotta admit, I wasn't reading it when it was canceled. I used to read the Ultimate Fantastic Four religiously. I love that book. But the thing is, I think more people want it back than we're actually reading it. It's almost like absence has made the heart grow fonder. Or at least they just like the idea of a Fantastic Four book being out there, whether they read it or not. Another good week for Marvel with 5 titles in our top 10, but Batman 37 was the clear winner by a mile. Batman number 37 dramatically outsold everything else, even Metal number 4. People really love this book. All things Batman are doing exceptional right now. It's a good time to be a DC fan, and I'm very much looking forward to what DC has planned for 2018. Metal 4 was our top seller, beating the first issue of Ed Piskor's X-Men Grand Design pretty decisively, which was surprisingly only because of the number of questions we've gotten about it since X-Men was announced. People seem pretty excited about Grand Design, but I guess it wasn't enough to beat the Metal juggernaut. But the majority of our best-selling titles were Marvel, with 2 and 1, the Mighty Thor, Doctor Strange leading the pack. In not big 2 news, we almost sold out of the seasonally appropriate Hellboy Krampusnacht one-shot and the newest Black Crown title from IDW, Assassinitas number 1, just missed the top 10. I hope Assassinitas is worth it, because I saw the art and man, it does not look good. I'm dreading reviewing it. While this is another week with the Bat books leading the charge, the newest issue of the Dark Knight's Metal and the core series of Batman taking the top 2 spots, Marvel made quite a splash for us. The triumphant reunion of half of the Fantastic Four and Marvel 2 and 1 took our number 3 spot. And as a personal aside, it's great to have Jim Cheung on interiors for the first time in what feels like forever. Additionally, the inaugural issue of Ed Piskor's X-History Retrospective X-Men Grand Design number 1 rounded out the top half of our list. The bottom half sees a few more usual suspects, such as Peter Park's Spectacular Spider-Man 298 and Super Sons number 11. We had a crowded 5-way tie for the very bottom of the list, all Marvel titles, save for Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, number 2. Another great week for DC. The Batman behemoth seems unstoppable right now. The only Marvel book that made it into our top 10 was Marvel 2 and 1, and almost every customer who bought it wanted it to lead to a new Fantastic Four series. Well, there you go. The top 10, the comments. What did you think? Was anything said you were like, hey, wait a second? Or did you notice that while Marvel does hold 4 of the 10 spots this week, nobody talked about Mighty Thor? Not in any kind of detail, anyway. And speaking of a Marvel character who used to be a man but now has boobs, Tom Brevoort said that Marvel gets all of its sales from digital, so I started adding on the Comixology top 10, just to see exactly if that is true. So, without further ado, let's check that out and see if Marvel is actually kicking all of the ass they say they will. And do. Number 10, there's Wildstorm number 10. Number 9 goes to Marvel 2 and 1, number 1. Number 8 is Injustice 2, Chapter 37. Lucky number 7 goes to Cancer Thor, number 702. The 6th spot goes to Super Sons number 11. Number 5 belongs to Justice League number 35. Number 4 is Superman number 37. 3 is the only independent comic book on the list, Invincible number 143. At number 2, Dark Knight's Metal number 4 takes the runner-up position, which leaves the number 1 book of the week digitally being Batman number 37. Tom King continues to kill it in 2017. But of course, I figure why not? Let's be fair, let's continue this to see how it goes for Marvel versus DC if we expand it to the top 20 as we do every week. Also, I like finding out what's in the top 20. And we're starting off at 7-2 in DC's favor. Also, Marvel's record has been 8 titles in the top 20, so we'll see if they can at least tie it, maybe even break it. At number 11 is Nightwing number 35. Number 12 belongs to X-Men Gold number 18, bringing the score to 3-8 DC favor. Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 15 brings it to 4-8 DC's favor. Noticing a little pattern here, bringing the score 5-8. X-Men Grand Design number 1 at number 14. One more bump for Marvel. Ms. Marvel 25 brings it to 6-8 at number 15. Not to be shut out in the backfield at number 16 is Green Lantern's number 37, bringing it 6-9 DC. With the addition of Aquaman 31, DC now owns half the field at number 17. At number 18, Trinity number 16 clinches the win for DC with 11-6. 11-7 is the score after Doctor Strange takes the 19th spot. And at number 20, Marvel does tie their record, 8 spots of the top 20 with Defenders number 8. So there you go, gang, the top 20 digital sales from the largest digital comic book store in the world, Comixology. And I don't think that CB is going to be as obtuse as Tom Brevoort and Alexis Alonso were. I think he sees a problem, he's trying to fix it. And hopefully, I mean, that's what we're seeing right now. And I understand some people just want to hate Marvel because they need someplace to focus their hate. I can't be like that. I am hoping that Marvel gets back on track, and I am hoping that DC stays on top. I want DC on top of a strong comic book market, not just because Marvel is weak. So lastly is a new feature I tagged on just for poops and giggles, as they say. Well, actually, they say shits and giggles, but I digress. I decided, why don't we check out to see what the top 10 independent comic books of the week are. These are digital sales, easier to track. Here we go. If you like it, let me know in the comments below. At number 10, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universe number 17. Number 9 is Redlands number 5. Number 8 is Spread number 24. Number 7 is Ninjak number 2. At number 6, we have Sherlock Frankenstein number 3. Number 5 belongs to Uber Invasion number 10. Fence number 2 takes the 4 spot. Number 3 is Copperhead number 17. The runner-up in the number 2 spot is Hellboy Krampusnacht, the holiday special. And of course, the number 1 independent comic book sold to readers is Invincible number 143. So there you go, gang. All of the top 10s, top 20s, everything sold to readers. Once again, this is not Comicron sold to stores. This is to readers. What do you think? What are you happy to see on the list? What are you kind of sad you didn't see get on the list? Let me know in the comments below. Also, any other comment toward any of the books that are sold to readers or anything, let me know in the comments below as well. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, click share, of course, because that gets word about the channel out. And if you haven't done it already, click subscribe and hit that notification bell. As a matter of fact, if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell again, because YouTube's been turning off notifications again. Also, this is the way we make our living, so if you don't mind helping us out, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on and helps keep making videos like this. We certainly appreciate everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.
You could have a big